Do you see that 4-lane highway there? Mr. Macondo says, no, I see only 2 lanes. That's how I made my money. 50%. Then after some time, the minister from Malgudi visits Macondo. And he finds the Macondo minister has even a bigger house, more luxury. So it is his turn to ask Mr. Macondo, what is your secret? How did you make it? So Mr. Macondo says, Mr. Malgudi, come to the window. Do you see this 8-lane highway here? Mr. Malgudi says, no, I don't see anything. 100%. Malgudi and Macondo, they also play games sometimes. There is this boy from Macondo. He goes to Malgudi, to India. And they want to impress an Indian girl. They are courting her. They want to impress her. So how does it work out in Latin American culture and Indian culture? So the Latin American boy, he buys 2 tickets for a theater, goes to this girl's house and says proudly, I've got 2 tickets, the best show in town, I want to take you. He goes. The next day, the Indian boy, he goes to the girl's house and says, I got 3 tickets. So the girl says, well, there are only 2 of us, why 3? He says, 1 for your father, 1 for your mother, and 1 for your little brother. So we rule the house. And we respect the elderly. Then the Indian boy comes to Latin America. In fact, there are 3 boys who come. They come to Brazil. They take train from Sao Paulo to Rio and back. So on the journey from Sao Paulo to Rio, the 3 Indians buy 3 tickets. The 3 Brazilians buy 1 ticket. Now, in the train, the ticket conductor comes to check. When he comes, the 3 Brazilians quickly run into the bathroom, lock it. But the conductor knows that there is someone inside the bathroom. So he comes and knocks. So these guys, they open the door slightly and show the ticket like that. He punches it and goes. He doesn't know there are 2 other guys inside. So the Indians are impressed. So on the return journey from Rio to Sao Paulo, the 3 Indians buy 1 ticket and the 3 Brazilians buy no ticket. So when the ticket conductor comes, the Indians, being new to this game, they are more nervous. They run quicker than the Brazilians into the bathroom and lock it. There's a knock on the door. So they open slightly and show the ticket. And the Latin Americans take away the ticket. Then they decide, these boys, okay, now let's have a game in a neutral territory. Let's go to London. So in London, they get invited to a banquet by the Queen. So the Latin American tells the Indian, let's have a bet. Let's see who can steal more spoons from the Queen's table. For each spoon, $100. But that day, to the bad luck of the Indian, the Queen makes him sit next to her and starts a big conversation about how Jaguar and Land Rover have been bought by Indian companies, how are they doing. So the Indian has no time to steal any spoons. And he watches the Latin American on the other side. He pockets 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4 courses of dinner, finally the coffee time comes. The Indian knows that this is the last chance. So what does he do? He takes this coffee spoon and does this flower and says, "Your Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to perform an Indian magic." You see this little spoon here, coffee spoon. I am going to put it in my pocket. See that? And he calls the waiter. "Waiter, you go to my friend the Latin American there. See his pocket, there will be 4 spoons. That's about $100. Well, there is also a similarity between Indians and some Latin Americans in skin color, which I call as café con leche. Some people have more milk, some people have less. There is a film, a Colombian film, called Embajador de la India. I don't know if any of you have seen. In this film, there is this Colombian with a café con leche skin. He travels in a bus in the interior of Colombia. And he wants to smoke. He takes out a cigarette and finds that there's no match. So he calls the guy in the other seat. "Senor, can you give me a phosphorus, a match?" So the other guy gives him a match and then says, "Hey, your accent is different. Where are you from?" This guy is a crook. He says, "Yo soy de la India." India? Then this guy says, "Yo soy embajador de la India." I'm the ambassador of India. I says, "You're kidding us. You can't be an ambassador traveling in a bus like this." So this guy says, "Yo soy embajador incognito." I wanted to see and interact with people without all the protocol. So that is why I am traveling in the bus to mix with people, understand their culture. The other guy gets impressed. Embajador incognito. And he tells the other people in the bus. There's a lot of excitement. They reach the small town. And there they put him up in the best small hotel available and look after him and ask him to tell stories about India. So that goes on, and there is fiesta every day. And then, as it happens, the daughter of the mayor of that city falls in love with this Indian ambassador. More fiestas. But one day during one of these fiestas, one of the accomplices of this crook from the other village, he comes and spills the beans. He tells everyone, he is not an ambassador, he is a crook, he is a cheat, he has been cheating you. So there is total shock. This is where the difference between Indian culture and Latin American culture. If it happened in India, what would they have done? They would have beaten him up, handed him over to the police. But what did they do in Latin America? They said, "Hey, you took us all for such a big ride. Let's have a fiesta. Let's have cumbia." This is a film, Embajador de la India. And this film is based on a real life story. It happened like that in Colombia. Well, to conclude my speech about the cultures, let me go back to this Café con Leche story. When I went to Bolivia in 2006, where you have the native Indians, and there is always confusion between Indians and Hindus, so that is why I use the word Indianos to distinguish from the native Indians. So when I went to Bolivia in 2006, I called up my guru from Ipanema to ask for his advice. How do I survive at the height of 14,000 feet in La Paz? So my guru from Ipanema advised me, you should practice Indian philosophy at that height. I said, what? He said, come poquito, bebe poquito, duerme solito.